Okay, fantastic evening coming up here. I am going to see Peter Gabriel. I'm not a huge Peter Gabriel fan. I don't dislike him. I like his stuff. But it's one of these people that I feel I need to see. And he started a tour coming through town. And I took a look and I found one seat on the floor, pretty good seat. So I am going to go and check out Peter Gabriel. Kia Forum, they've talked about a bunch of times. I've got a few places I like to park on the street, and this will be the second time this week that I've been there. I've got seated tickets, I've got a reserved seat ticket, so it's not as important to be there as early for me, but I do like to get in, and I've got some sort of lounge package, so we'll see how that goes. Anyways, looking forward to seeing him and give you an update when we get there, and certainly give you an update afterwards. Okay? Hopefully I have some good footage and content to put up here, some nice pictures and video. All right, the hot dog vendors are out. Peter Gabriel is done playing. I'm on my way back to the car. Okay, so let's talk about Peter Gabriel. He has an amazing audience and fan base. I sat next to a lady that saw him first in 1974. And there's just a tremendous amount of people here that have got this long time, say, relationship or love of this guy. Remember him from Genesis, early Genesis. And he's got a lot of stage presence, and he's done some strange things before. The lady said at one point he sang a song while riding a bicycle, in past shows. So he did some kind of fun stuff on stage. I didn't know that I've ever really understood Peter Gabriel, and seeing him tonight kind of gave me a little bit better understanding of what he's got going on. Not sure if I could put my finger on exactly everything, but it is a really cool thing that he's got, and his fans are super into him. But his show, although it has some really great high points, it also takes you down. It's a seated concert for the most part, and he'll play a couple of songs, everybody stands up, but then goes back into something slow. So as it seems that we're all getting older, I think Peter Gabriel has the same level of fun in his show, but maybe not the same level of athleticism, and I think he joked about that too. So no bicycles, but the stage was pretty phenomenal. And the more you see bands that put on like this high production video and choreograph dancing, it makes the show just that much better. I don't know if it would have the same impact if there wasn't the video projection and probably the widest television I've ever seen on the left and the right hand side. So the entire audience got a great view of what was going on, and I feel bad that I didn't get to see him when he was younger and see some of the other things that he did on stage, and the reasons why he has such a big following at this point. So I think all in all, the concert was really spectacular and great. I'm glad that I went and got to experience the event and see what his show was about and his music, and of course, those parts of him which don't know if I ever really understood, but I can kind of see that his career had some really interesting moments and goes way back, and a lot of the stuff that you see on stage is a fraction of what he used to give the audience. So I don't know how many more shows he's got left. Keep an eye out for him. Okay, so it took me a few days to figure out what I wanted to say about Peter Gabriel, because I know that his show and his career are bigger than what I saw in just one night. And again, I'm a Peter Gabriel fan. I like his music, but I'm not a huge Peter Gabriel fan. So in going to see him, what you realize is that no matter who the band is, if they have a career that spans as long as Peter Gabriel's has, seeing a band when they're young and they're new and in the creative states that they get into is really important to knowing who they are and appreciating them years and years later. And for me, going to see Peter Gabriel at this point in his career, there's not as much new music coming out, not as much creative risks going on, and they give you a really great show, and that's what we got that night. But in my first experience seeing Peter Gabriel, like, I want to go in and see more of the hits with more energy, and you just can't get everything that you want when you go see a show. So this is the show that we got. The set list was good, but in talking to super fans that are sitting around me, they had different things to say. Like, he doesn't change his set list. It's always going to be the same set list. And that's great, because, if you look and you see on the East Coast, this is what's coming. Awesome. But, there were fans that were like, hey, what about Games Without Frontiers and a few other of the hit songs? I'm pleased with what the set list that we got, what we saw, and what we heard. And I do believe that Peter Gabriel is just musically a genius, and he's really talented, and his career spanning really decades has got more to offer than what I've looked into. So with this concert, for sure, it made me want to go back and look at some of the old concert footage of Peter Gabriel. And also, I'm going to go back into his archives and look at some older albums so that I can hear more of that. So anyways, I'm glad that I went. It brought Peter Gabriel to life for me, and I think that if you get a chance to see him, it's still well worth it. Just realize that I didn't need to be as close to the front. I would have been fine sitting further back. As a seated show, it wasn't that necessary to sit up as close as I did. And sitting further back, you might be able to see more of the stage and enjoy all of those things. So anyways, this is Scott from the Crowd. Like and subscribe. Got some other concerts coming up the end of this week, and look forward to seeing you guys soon.